Today I want to talk about luxury fatigue. I feel exhausted. Don't you feel exhausted, guys? Please stay with me. Hi guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Oksana. Thank you very much for clicking on this video. Today I want to chat about unexpected topic, let's say from me at least, because I love fashion, I love luxury pieces. They are absolutely beautiful, and obviously we love luxury pieces because they represent quality, they represent beautiful design, they represent a status. Either you like it or not, but it's a status. If you're wearing an expensive handbag or piece of jewelry or shoes for that matter. But lately I feel luxury fatigue, and it's maybe because all around us, the media, the influencers, and even big influencers, they kind of talking quite negatively about luxury, and we shouldn't use it, we shouldn't wear it. You receive some kind of lashback from the public as well, saying that, you know, you're spending your money on these things that doesn't really mean anything, doesn't really represent anything for any nation. But this is also kind of questionable, because let's say some of the things are truly could be represented by some nations, because like at the end of the day, if we are talking about stylish women in fashion, we are talking about French women or Italian women, and we are always saying, oh, what's the difference between French and Italian women style of dressing, etc. So it could be cultural, even luxury. But what I'm trying to say, it just like when it comes to luxury and you're trying to obtain these beautiful pieces, because it's always been said that luxury, they're produced them in small quantities, so that's why there is always scarce of certain products. It's you're constantly on some kind of chase. You're trying to get bigger, better deal. You're always in a state of FOMO, fear of missing out. What if you're not gonna buy a certain piece, or what if the price will go up, etc. And lately I'm catching myself that, you know what, it's okay if the price will go up, it's okay if I'm gonna be missing on certain items. My life won't change around if I'm not gonna have that certain item. And I will give you an example. As you know, lately luxury fine jewelry houses like Cartier, for instance, or Van Cleef, they increased their prices, and I knew about Van Cleef price increase in advance, and I have several pieces that I'm considering. Not doesn't mean that I will buy 100%, but I'm somewhat considering to buy from Van Cleef. But I still stop myself. I don't know why, but I almost feel it's like, you know, you're talking to a say, and they're going like, oh, I'm gonna send you a link and you should just click on that link and pay right away, and you know, otherwise you're gonna be missing out on the item. And they call it luxury pieces, but at the end of the day, with the luxury pieces comes also an additional things as a luxury packaging, which we really love, all those beautiful boxes and ribbons. And we are talking about also luxury experience. And frankly, I don't see any kind of luxury experience lately. It's kind of go, go, go. I remember good days when you were actually coming to the boutique and you can have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, glass of champagne. Right now, if they're gonna give you a bottle of plastic bottle actually of water, it's good enough already. Maybe they're gonna bring it on a tray, just making it kind of luxurious, but come on, it's 30 cents bottle of water. And the only one way still kind of feels somewhat luxurious, it's frankly when I was traveling to Paris, it's at Hermes boutiques, and it doesn't mean everywhere at any your experience. It's only when you get your leather appointment that's when they somewhat treat you better, because they know any handbag at Hermes you're buying, you're gonna be dropping 5,000 plus euro, maybe even 20, 30, etc. So they're offering tea, coffee, and in fact they have their own in-house like a coffee shop, like brewery, I mean in a sense of coffee, and they can offer you a glass of champagne or something like that. Nothing like that at many of my local boutiques. Previously also I remember you've been invited to Christmas party, etc. But maybe also because lately I don't really shop much at many of my local boutiques, so maybe that's why I'm missing out on all this luxury experience. But I remember what I'm trying to say. I remember it was always you're chasing something. Please write comments if any of you remember this, when you were trying to get Louis Vuitton pochette métis, and you were kind of like, you know, have to send zillions of text messages to your essay, and she's acting that she's doing you an enormous favor. You have to prepay for the items, and then you're waiting for that pochette métis, and finally it arrives and you are so happy. Right now you can buy that pochette métis at the resale market in pristine condition, way cheaper than it's at the boutique, because the prices are so exorbitant right now at Louis Vuitton. The same things with Chanel. I remember myself once with my husband standing in line at Chanel boutique trying to get some handbags at their launch date, like, you know, some certain collection. And it was always, oh my gosh, if you could get Coco handle or mini, square or rectangular, doesn't matter, or classic flap, because when classic flap is not as expensive, it was also very hard to get, or certain jewelry pieces from Chanel. It was always, you know, you have to kind of chase, you have to beg your essay. I'm not even talking about Hermes boutique. You know what is it with Hermes boutique? You have to kind of beg your essay for giving you a favor, selling you some kind of handbag, and then they manipulate you and bluntly lying to you, saying that they don't have something. And I'm sorry if some of you disagree when I say that they're bluntly lying to you, and I'm not saying that everybody is lying, but sadly many of them do, because they playing games. We are playing games sometimes to get certain items, and it's kind of like, you know, constant, you know, passing of the ball, and you see who gonna win next round. And it reminds me of some kind of like bad boyfriend who is treating you so badly, but you're always forgiving him, and you go back to him hoping that the next time it will be better, but it never happens. It's always getting worse and worse. Please tell me that I'm not alone over here. Tell me that you don't feel upset because, you know, some essay treat you worse or better than another customer. Like, it's always kind of gradation in this system, but at the end of the day, it's items that meant to be sold for people. And if somebody doesn't want that item, I think it should be readily available for another person. Again, forgive me if I don't know, doesn't make any sense over here, if I'm kind of almost on a rant, but I just want to feel that, or ask, am I alone over here? Is it only me who feels so upset with all this situation? And on top of everything, quite often you're begging for some items at the boutique, and God forbid if, I don't know, in some kind of certain situation, you need to recapture, you know, some funds from these certain things. 99% of the time you're losing money. It means you're begging for the items, these items represent no value whatsoever, even if they're on the resale market, sold over asking, minus commission of those boutiques. You're barely breaking either even or maybe even losing money. The only exceptions is Hermes, Birkin, Kelly's, some Constances. Otherwise, everything else, you're losing money. And even with Chanel right now, even with Chanel, because Chanel Mini at the boutique right now in Canadian dollars, square or rectangle, doesn't matter, they're about 7,000 with taxes on top. It's about 75, 76, even more, hundreds. So it's really expensive. It's really expensive. So I don't know, guys. I feel kind of like, I don't know, maybe I'm alone, but I hope that I'm not alone. Let me know, how do you feel about all this? And it's not even like, you know, how expensive everybody is talking right now. Oh, the price is out of control. It's not even how expensive it is. It's like the experience. It's no longer luxury experience. It's like, I don't know. It's a bad experience at the boutique. It's really a bad experience at the boutique, and it's very, very sad. It's very, very sad what's happening. Anyway, let me know what you think of this subject. Do you have some kind of luxury fatigue, or I'm just here on my own? Please put all your comments, because I definitely want to read your comments and have this communication between us. Thank you very much for being here with me, and I hope to see you on my next one. Bye bye.